Hello everyone, your favorite night owl here with a quick SKS review. Before we get started, check the description and there should be a link to my Subscribestar account. Want to help a small creator out? Subscribe on there. Like, share, and subscribe. Alrighty then, let's get on with it, shall we? Now, this rifle is a loaner for my younger brother, who, after a previous video I had this in, suggested I do a quick review on it. As you can see, it's clearly not loaded, although I do have a stripper clip loaded with 10 rounds for you, so in case you wanted to see what that looks like. I also have the flip safety on. Alright, as a quick review, I'd give this rifle 4 out of 5 stars. In fact, I'd even go as far as saying 4.5 stars out of 5. It is a fantastic rifle, and I have very little complaints about it from my testing of the rifle. I have tried Fiocchi and steel core Tula ammo out of it, and it shot very well. Cool beans, cool beans. It has a simple bolt mechanism, and this rifle is fairly easy to disassemble, which is very nice. Up here we have a little gas port hole, and we have the folding bayonet. These folding bayonets are very easy to remove if you do not want them, or want to drop it in a different chassis. And although I do prefer the folding bayonet. Now, utility-wise, this rifle is very good for home defense, property defense, and pest control, especially with that nice 20-inch barrel getting all the potential performance out of the cartridge, of which it fires 7.62 by 39, the same cartridge as the AK-47. Very, very nice cartridge. Now, one thing to take into mind when it comes to the SKS is you have to clean the bolt occasionally or you risk slam fires. That is an issue with all semis, to my knowledge. Now, cool beans, cool beans. It has a simple flip safety, which is very nice because when you're ready to put your finger on the trigger, you just swipe it down, safety off, safety on. There you go. Nice hinged foreplate to drop the rounds out. There are conversion kits to give this a magazine. There's also affordable chassis on the market to drop it in a chassis if you'd like doing so, if you prefer something a bit more modern. But with its easy to adjust iron sights, I saw no reason to do that, neither did my younger brother. So I did not test it. He did not spend the money to buy one. That's where we're at. And I didn't want to spend money on a rifle that wasn't mine. We do have an original sling on it. Very nice. Fantastic. You can load this if you don't have stripper clips by turning the rifle upside down and dropping them in the appropriate direction. That would be this way, for those of you who are interested. It's not the best way to do it, but it's a good way to prevent your thumb from getting smashed by that, because it has a hold on open function, so when you're putting rounds in, that bolt is ready to come slamming forward, and if your fingers are in the way, that can be a bit of an issue. But when you load it from the bottom like that, the bolt must be closed. Alright then, the wood stock on this is very nice, despite the fact this rifle has seen quite a bit of use and drilling by my younger brother, and not to mention my testing. Cool beans, cool beans. It is a fairly accurate rifle. In fact, I'd be willing to say you'd be quite able to take this out to 400 or 500 yards with a fair degree of accuracy. However, we only keep it sighted in, with its easy to adjust iron sights, to 200 yards. And at 200 yards, it is actually a fairly precise rifle. even though the cartridge is not really considered a precision cartridge. Cool beans, cool beans. The bayonet is very useful, and in fact, I would recommend this for specifically hog hunting. If you are a hog hunter, this is a very good choice. You get the most out of the cartridge, and when you approach that hog, which might be on the ground and not actually transitioned to the next world to be polite, the bayonet extended could put a decent amount of distance between you and the thing that really wants to tear you off your feet. And nothing like a feral pig to ruin your day, especially when it's wounded and angry. It is a bit on the heavy side, especially forward, because this is a gas piston system, so there's a lot of weight up there, especially with the bayonet. So if you want to lighten it a little, you can use the bayonet. Take the bayonet off. You lose a little weight, stick it in a modern lighter chassis, but I prefer the wood. I love the smell of wood and steel, especially when it gets nice and hot. It has a metal butt plate, and there's a little compartment for a cleaning kit in the back, which is always nice. We do have a ammo pouch for the stripper clips, and stripper clips can be fairly easy to use. Now, sometimes you get them and they're not very user-friendly, and other times they are. We lucked out with the stripper clips that we have. Now, the magazine assembly is fairly unique. It's similar to the Nagats. In fact, I should probably at some point compare the magazine system to that of the Nagats. And it's fairly reliable feeding. Except with this rifle, you do not risk rim lock, which is very nice. It has the side-mounted sling, which I've never been the biggest fan of, but that's simply because I don't particularly drill with side-mounted slings and use traditional hunting slings. Now, this rifle has seen, as previously stated, a fair bit of use. As such, it has taken a beating. But you can still get these for like $500–600 in fairly good condition, or just needing a bit of a cleanup job if you intend to use it in a practical sense. They make a good collector's option because I don't know if any of these are going to be imported, and I don't think there's anyone on the market manufacturing these. This is due for another cleaning as well. Nice, nice. Fairly easy to disassemble. And there are a variety of these on the market from various countries. This happens to be a Chinese import. And to be honest, if there was more of them imported in large numbers, I'd probably end up scooping some of them up. In fact, I'd probably scoop up a fair decent of them. Just going to shut this here. Make sure everything goes in correctly. Oh, that's going to be a two-handed process. In its state, the weight is the only real downside of it, but with that barrel length, you do get more out of it. 10 rounds, a lot of people don't like 10 rounds in a semi. I don't consider that a downside. If I intended to ever use this as a fighting rifle, then I might take a bit issue with only 10 rounds, but there are conversion kits that will give this a 20 or 30 round magazine, and it will still feed from the stripper clip. So that would be fairly good if you are interested in that particular upgrade. The chassis systems would allow modern scopes, but I am quite well versed in the use of iron sights. I prefer iron sights, and to me, every rifle should at least have auxiliary iron sights, even if you intend to use them predominantly with a scope. That's look into my concept of a people's rifle. I previously made a video on that. Bolt assembly, as previously stated, that's another potential issue, is loading this. is if you try to load them one by one from the top, that bolt really wants to come pay your fingers a visit. That won't be very pleasant. I do like the safety. I don't see these too often. I don't think it's an issue. I think it's a great safety. In fact, I do plan to own one of these at some point. Alright, thank you for your time. Check out my Subscribe Star account if you want to help a small creator out. Also, I do prioritize requests for videos from that if it's within reason that I can actually do. So, subscribe, help a small creator out. Like, share, and subscribe, where I do upload this onto BitChute under DSR Verulven Pack. My Subscribe Star account is also DSR Verulven Pack. My YouTube account is just DSR. Alright, thank you for your time. Like, share, and subscribe. See everyone around.